Used to be water, now it's wine.
The worst one I ever had said, warning, may contain traces of egg.
What, in wine?
Yeah, in like a cheap as shit cask wine. May contain traces of egg.
Where the hell is that made?
I don't even know, man. This was just cheap Sydney wine or some garbage. Apparently it's used as like a...
made on a chicken farm.
Must have been. They use it as an agent to...
I'm just trying to get my head around.
It ain't vegan wine, that's for sure.
No.
That's not vegan, that shit.
Chicken's pooping.
That's terrifying.
And I learned...
Dropping eggs.
Vegan cheese. Speaking of vegans, you said it was made of almonds?
No, they make it of all kinds of different
All kinds
stuff.
of different things.
I think that was...
Just make sure your
phone's... It just keeps running away.
Yeah.
No, so there's quite a few different...
Make yourself comfortable. Just keep it close.
Just pretend you're 18 again. It's all good.
Now.
Easy, yo.
Oh, you bloody misogynist bastards. Fuck me.
And this is why we don't have nice things.
Did you put your phone on flight mode?
Airplane mode?
Yeah.
You said you were locked out.
I was locked out, so I wasn't able to do it. So do you want to... Yeah, if you can, just... My phone is not dinging. My laptop is dinging, and I'm not really sure why. So I'll make sure that's not going to happen. Turn the sound all the way down. For me, it's a pull-down menu from the top. If you pull down from the top of the screen, it just has a picture of an airplane. Or turn the sound all the way down. That'd be fine too. Sure. Oh, shit. So, we've got... Vegan cheese on the menu tonight.
No, yeah, apparently. I think that they can make it out of like pistachios and almonds, and some of the ones that I've tried are really good.
And you were telling me as well, Rob, you probably didn't even know this, that not all cheese is... Obviously, no cheese is vegetarian.
Oh, vegan. No cheese is vegan.
No cheese is vegan, but not all cheese is even vegetarian because they can use animal fat called rennet.
Yeah, so some cheeses contain rennet still. Like, I mean, it used to be like most cheeses contained rennet. Nowadays, they use like non-animal rennet to like make the sort of process of cheese making happen. But some processed cheeses and stuff still contain rennet.
Is
it's not all cheese. No. But if you're a vegetarian.
If you're a vegetarian, it goes against everything you stand for.
Oh, philosophy-wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
That was that.
How do you get your B12 if you're a vegetarian or vegan?
Well, I don't know about vegan, but vegetarians can still eat eggs.
Eggs, yeah.
B12.
But that's not vegan.
No, but I'm not vegan. I'm vegetarian.
Oh, sweet. Yeah. You're sweet then.
Yeah, but like in terms of for vegans, I actually don't know. I don't know where they get it from. I think that would be a thing that if you were that way inclined, you would probably know that for yourself because you would need to know that.
You'd already have done a lot of research.
Unless it's purely synthetic.
Made an ethical decision to be a vegan, you'd think you'd know all that sort of shit. Right?
Well, you don't, to start with, at least. Well, I mean, like, I made the decision to be vegetarian, had no idea that some of the cheese that I was eating contained rennet. So I was
Why did you want to be a vegetarian?
Well, that's it. My reasons kind of differed. So, like, at the start, like, when I first made the decision to cut meat out of my diet, it was because I was so tired all the time. And I had tried everything, like, to try and get my energy levels up. I couldn't work out what was going on. Doing a bit of research, talking to a few people, the processing of meat expends a lot of energy. So then I was like, well, if I cut out meat, maybe that's the next thing I'd try. Like, you know, so I did. Okay. I cut out meat.
Next thing you'll try.
Well, yeah, well, so I did the vegan thing.
Like, you also would have had less reflux. Meat, you know, gives you reflux.
Yeah, I've never really had that problem with it as much, no.
You don't eat a lot of red meat, do you, Robbie?
Not really, no. No, I'm mostly veggies too.
Yeah.
Got the veggie patch in the backyard.
Yeah, nice. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, you should see his veggie patch sometime,
But yeah, I'll still eat meat from time to time too. I prefer avocados to...
Yep.
I prefer veggies personally. But I still eat meat too. Like, I don't have a consciousness or
ethical thing.
any issue with eating meat as such, as an omnivore.
Yeah. No, that's...
I'll happily chow down on some flesh and bone.
I could never, no, even when I was a meat eater, I always struggled with the idea of eating it off the bone. And like I'd always kind of wanted to go, oh no.
I do like eating like a lamb shank where you get to gnaw on the bone.
Oh no.
Yeah, and the bone's got the marrow and the iron.
No, even when I ate meat, it was not a thing that I got into.
Okay, fair enough.
But
the marrow's where all your stem cells are.
But I've got to say, like, we're primates, so we're omnivores, right?
Yeah.
So I struggle with the idea of veganism because I don't think it's healthy, man. And like
it is healthy, but you got to make sure you get that B12.
And how else do you get it?
If you go supplement, then your supplement's probably going to come from an animal product anyway.
So what
vegan
sources?
Or a synthetic version.
So a chemically
man-made.
Man-made.
Yeah.
I mean, everything's
B12.
chemical, so a man-made. B12.
I can't think of any vegetable that has B12.
Yeah, right. See, this is the great thing about eggs is that eggs have everything, man. I hate eggs. Ugh, I find it so hard to eat eggs.
But they're not vegan.
They're not vegan, but for a vegetarian, though.
Go the eggs.
An egg, all it is chicken, period, right? It's not actual meat, right?
Yeah.
But
chicken, period.
Yeah, man, that's right. They'll have...
When you say it like that, it makes me want to cut eggs
menstruation in you.
They will birth those eggs,
come
dick or come none.
Well, it contains all the essentials to life.
All of the the protein building blocks that we actually need for our human systems, our biological systems. Eggs are goddamn superfood.
Yep, superfood. So is avocado. That's a superfood. It's like an egg that grows on trees. If you're not vegetarian, sardines, massive superfood.
Pescatarians. I got a friend that's a pescatarian. I got a couple of friends that are pescatarian, actually.
What does that mean?
It means the only meat that you eat is fish.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Because fish don't feel pain, right? They don't. There's no.
They do feel pain. I've caught a few in my life.
The thing with fish, though,
they do flip-flop around while you slit their throat. Sorry about that.
They do flop around
because
you've got to have survival instincts, right? And you've got to be afraid of death,
kill them, actually.
And you've got to be afraid of pain to be able to survive. To run away from the shark that might bite you, you must have some understanding of pain. Otherwise, why would you? And you have to in order to propagate your own species. So that's evolutionary. It's all kinds of things, right? And but the thing with fish is that when scientists have cut open their brains and had a look at what makes them tick, they can't actually find anything that relates to our understanding of a pain center. So in our brain, we've got like the visual center, we've got the smell center, we've got the memory center, we've got the
But it doesn't mean it's not there. It just means that we don't understand it.
There's nothing that they've got that we can actually relate to.
That sort of tangible proof that it's like, well, actually.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And that's why there's so many reasons why people choose vegetarian, veganism, pescatarianism, whatever it might be. I had a chicken when I was little.
Or
that's why I don't eat chickens.
Yeah.
Like all kinds of reasons, right? But I know I'm not even sure. I know for one of my mates that's a pescatarian, it was never an ethical thing. It was like a taste thing, a fussy eating thing. And I know what their brains are like because I've got one like that. You know, like I'm a mammal, therefore I understand what it is to be a mammal that feels pain, right? You know, that you can relate to it, and then it's harder to relate in terms of fish. So everybody comes to their own ideological and philosophical standpoints,
Plants feel pain,
and everybody's quite well. Plants feel pain, so should we be fruitarians?
Just eat dirt.
I only eat what the plant has chosen to drop. Like honestly, like you draw a line somewhere. But
I think as long as you're at least a little bit conscious of the decisions that you're making, then that's better than just being like, oh, I don't care. It's like, okay, so I've chosen to eat meat because of X, Y, Z reason. Great. You've made a decision to be aware of your eating habits. Great. And if you've chosen not to do something for a particular reason, like I'm of the belief, like I really don't like it. Like even as a vegetarian, when someone comes up to me and is like shoving down not eating meat, like down somebody's throat. Because like
that's the
I
point.
have a lot of
Nobody
reason.
Nobody can tell you what you can put in your mouth.
I would never sit here and tell you that you should eat meat or eat a piece of chicken in front of you just so I can say, fuck you, I eat chicken. Like,
and there are people that do, like, who go out to a restaurant and it's like you're getting a vegetarian meal and they're like, well, I'll get extra meat just to make up for the meat that
people that do that are assholes, right?
Or
like,
vice
why?
versa. How dare you eat that steak, you prick.
Yeah, and it's like, it's
That's
just
right.
not.
Shut up, fascist.
And it's like, okay, it's good to be aware. Like, so, like, for example, I like to be careful, like, when I'm telling people my reasons for not doing it, it's like, I have no expectation for you, because you're your person. You know what I mean?
Can
like,
I say,
yes.
though,
Yeah.
I've met so many vegetarians that are, like, they come across, I guess, as a little bit frightened of telling me why they don't eat meat. Like, I ask them, why don't you eat meat? Because I'm interested, not because I'm waiting to judge them. I just want to know, right? And I've come across a lot of people. Vegans are different. Like they're kind of fundamentalist vegetarians in a sense, in the way they
like murdering plants.
Well, I know a lot of
love it.
vegans that don't like to even classify themselves as vegans when people ask, because they don't like the stigma that comes with the decisions that they've made. And then it's just a stigma thing. Like, a lot of people don't want to say, I feel, guilt or like remorse, for eating meat. Like, I don't like it because and like for me, like I said, I started for health reasons. And then I changed because of, things that I came across and experienced
Trying
when
to
I
get
was
your own balance right, yeah.
doing things like the dumpster diving.
man.
We were talking about before.
But go on with what you're saying.
And we came across a bin when I was going with a friend of mine, and it had 30 whole chickens. Like, we're talking, like the packaged ones that you get, like already killed, like the whole plucked chicken. There was like 30 or 40 of them in the bin.
Just thrown
out.
Just thrown away.
And I actually just sat down and like in the gutter and actually just had a solid cry. And then for me, I made the decision that I didn't want to buy into an industry and be spending money in an industry where we have so much waste. Because the problem isn't the consumption of the meat, it's the fact that we have such a high demand for it that we waste. Like, literally, like, there's 30 animals that had to die for nothing.
Supply and demand.
But then you can't,
the
like, I
business goal
can't
is
just go up to
excess supply.
someone and say, like, this is why I don't do it, because you shouldn't have to feel guilty about the decisions that you're making for me. Like, I've made this decision in myself.
But there shouldn't be waste.
No, and then it's the waste that's the issue, not
I said the same thing to my son once. He wanted to kill a lizard, and he had, his eyes were all, I'm going to kill this lizard. And I said, if you're going to kill it, just make sure you eat it. You don't waste life.
I just got the visualization of myself eating a lizard, and now I'm like, oh.
Yeah, he changed his mind very quickly.
Yeah.
He changed his mind very quickly, and he didn't kill the lizard.
Like spaghetti.
But if you're going to kill it,
spaghetti.
Carnivore spaghetti.
if you're going to kill it, you should eat it. Don't waste life. Yeah, it's precious.
That's right, man.
Yeah.
It's important.
Yeah,
that
definitely.
lizard's conscious, right?
12 dead chickens in a bin.
Those
And
chickens,
again-
all
Fuck.
30 of those chickens were conscious, and they ended up just
In a
picked up
bin.
and
You'll
thrown
make
away
me
in a
cry
bin.
again.
No,
Like,
don't.
it's like,
You don't need to cry.
Uh-oh.
One of those things. Yeah, I know. We talked about this, man. We've had this discussion. No, and it was just a sensitivity thing about it, because like I am, like, I've got 2 dogs. So, and I look at them and the way that their mannerisms are and their personalities and the way that they interact and behave. And it's like, well, people eat dog.
People do eat dog. It's true.
And then you see like.
Not in Australia.
No.
Some
but
people in
it's-
Australia, but not
but
publicly.
it's a culture
not
thing.
openly. It's a cultural thing, yeah. You eat dog.
But, then so for me, then I
It's a
started
normal
looking
thing
at it
in
as
some
like,
countries.
okay,
It's a
well.
normal thing in some countries, some cultures.
I just don't want to do that anymore. And so like where I used to.
Anymore. Did you used to eat dog?
Oh, God. Yeah, for sure.
Did
that
you
was
used to
like
eat dog,
every Sunday
Rachel?
night? No, I didn't. I mean,
No?
like, I'm talking about eating meat in
It's a
general.
delicacy.
And it was just
You're missing
because,
out.
the health reasons to start with. And then obviously, and I'd still have meat occasionally because my body could still handle processing it. And then after that experience at the bin, I was like, I can't cheat anymore with this. Like, I can't have my once a month or once every couple of months, because I found when I did, I felt so guilty in myself because I had set myself a rule.
You felt guilty
And I
about what?
wasn't like having meat after I'd made the decision that I didn't want to, like when it was
okay.
around, like if someone was
like
offering
a cheat
it.
day.
Right,
Felt
right.
guilty about your cheat days.
Yeah, kind of.
Sure.
But it's like, it was more just like I wouldn't buy it, but if someone had it, and then I would, maybe have a little bit.
But you're better off eating it than
Then-
wasting it, so don't feel too guilty.
That's also, yeah,
It'd be
kind of
worse
true.
if
Well,
you
there's-
bought it and put it in the bin like the 12 chickens.
Yeah,
That's
that's
right.
true.
Love to mention the name of that supermarket.
Well, I'll just leave that right
Let's
out
leave
of
it alone there.
Like,
Let's steer
it's-
ourselves
But the
away
thing is,
from that.
it's not the fault of the particular supermarket.
No, it's not.
Anyway,
Keep going.
it's
That's
about
a great
the
point.
demand that we have for everything to be perfect and like at our fingertips.
Yeah.
So we need
So
to go
much
into the
so that-
grocery
yeah.
store. Like we would, if
want
we were wanting to
excess.
buy
We
this
want more
chicken
than
to
we need.
roast and
Greed,
it
greed,
wasn't
greed.
there,
Uh-huh.
we'd be pissed.
We'd be so
Actually,
pissed.
that's a good discussion point because do you know what that model is? Do you know what it's called?
Capitalism.
It's called the just-in-time model, JIT. So basically, supermarkets, the reason why you've got so much waste is because supermarkets only have about 2 days worth of food. So if food ran out, supermarkets would be emptied in like 2 days.
Yeah. Okay,
But if
that's
they can't
interesting.
pass that food off in 2 days, they put it in the bin. That's the downside.
But then what are they going to do? They can't give it all away because obviously then they're liable for if someone gets sick or because like I had
That's
this
a fear.
discussions
That's right. That's a
with
fear.
friends as well.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of them do. There's some really
We
like,
could eat lawyers. That would get rid of the problem of litigation if we just eat lawyers. Think, Jeremy?
I like it.
it's probably too bitter a taste.
you've
You know,
said-
like
I am
maybe
not
the palate of
condoning
the
Send
eating
me on a-
lawyers.
I am. I totally am. Eat a lawyer.
This is a public service
Juicy.
announcement. Please do not eat lawyers.
Please do not eat lawyers.
This studio does not condone the eating of lawyers.
You don't, I do.
Oh dear.
How about that? There was another thing that we started getting onto. Where did we go from there?
We did.
Anybody
We
else?
Some other shit, yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the next shit?
The next shit.
The next shit. We've gone from dumpsters to waste.
No,
to
I
dumpster
still,
diving.
I feel
To
like,
people
yeah.
telling you
Dumpster
what you
diving,
should put in your
that's where I
face.
was hoping to get back to, is that you were telling me today and the other day, we were having this conversation about free food that gets thrown away all the time,
Yeah.
you know?
And got to watch out for those chickens, though.
Yeah, don't eat the chickens
No,
from
don't,
the bin.
just don't.
That's
Don't
why I
eat
said
the
before,
chicken in
were
the
they
bin.
cold?
Yeah, but even then.
Don't ever eat the chicken from the bin.
No.
But if you find cakes,
No chicken from me.
pumpkins,
Yeah.
lentils,
Well, and
beans, that's another thing about veggies, right? Is that ain't going to be bad if it's in the bin, right?
well,
Wrapped
the
in
thing is,
plastic.
they've got things like display till dates and use by dates that obviously they can't sell it after that point because obviously there's that risk of
The lawyers that we want to
coming,
eat.
coming down. So they have
as long
they
as you
throw
keep
it
them
out.
cold.
So we've had days where we've found bags, like five avocados in a bag, 30 bags
Oh,
of avocados.
nice.
So
Because
what-
the
Score.
display
Just
till
to-
date, the use by date was up.
Oh,
like
they're
it was
$2
gone.
a
They were
pop.
they're expired, right?
Yeah.
Except for the fact that they weren't ripe. But because they have their processes and they can't
Oh,
sell
they're
it after that
underripe.
point. Yeah, they weren't
That's
ripe
even
yet.
better bonus.
Well, exactly, but they can't sell it because the use by date is up, which they have to have because that's a legal
Oh, date
obligation.
on underripe. That doesn't make any sense. Someone made a mistake there.
No, well, that's the thing. They've got to put the date on it. That's how they do it. But it's the thing.
So
Yeah.
the thing is, I've just got to clarify that what we're talking about at the moment is that Rachel has found this method of fighting wasteful behaviours from supermarkets.
There's a huge
And
community for
A
it.
massive community for this. It's Freegan or something that you
Something
came up
along
like,
those-
something along those lines.
Yeah, came
of
across
just
it.
that she's come across that these supermarkets every day they throw out their produce. I used to take advantage of this back when nearly 20 years ago when I was living with all my punk mates, that we'd go down and just raid the bin outside the supermarket when we knew that that was the day they throw out their cakes and bread. So we'd get all our bread, we'd get a whole heap of sweets and treats for nothing because they just chuck it out, even though it's all good.
Anything that's baked fresh daily is in the bin that night.
They throw it away. Mm-hmm. And you've discovered that they do the same thing with all their fresh produce. Like it was like you had like a picture of this half a dozen pumpkins.
Yeah.
Half a dozen wrapped and sealed butternut pumpkins.
Yep, feed a lot of people.
Thrown away. And you can feed a lot of people.
But the thing is,
this waste.
As well.
Like, how terrible is it that that's thought of waste?
Well, my grandma said waste not, want not. That was one of her things. So I totally concur with that. It's a shame to see waste.
Yeah. Well,
especially wrapped in plastic. Like, how dare you throw a pumpkin in a bin wrapped in plastic?
I know.
So it doesn't even fucking decompose.
Yeah.
Won't even decompose.
What the fuck is going on there?
The worms don't even get it, man.
No.
Crazy.
So we basically take that perfectly good edible waste, we separate the cardboard, the recycling, the soft plastic, and then, at least we're sort of like trying to
fuck the plastic.
push stuff around in that sort of way. But there are a lot of great, particularly in Melbourne, companies and restaurants that actually work towards like food waste, like combating food waste.
That's right. I've heard of that.
Yeah. So like there's stores like, there's lots of them, but the one in particular that I go to a lot is like called Lentil as Anything.
Lentil as anything. Whereabouts in Melbourne is that?
There's a couple. So there's one in St Kilda, Abbotsford, Thornbury. And what they do is they get from supermarkets or, like all of this sort of stuff, all of this food that would be getting chucked before it goes in the bin, so it doesn't have that sort of like you're actually going into a bin to get the food. It goes to them beforehand. And so what they do is they have lots of volunteers
and
a few paid
like
staff working, to do that. And then the
that's where my
supermarket.
Brother works, actually. My brother works in the same kind of place.
Yeah, cool.
Charity that gives out food.
Yeah, well, and it's like, it's pay as you feel. So so their menu pricing has this amount covers your meal and someone else's, this amount covers, this or whatever. And it's like, it tells you like there's a pay point pricing, but none of the items. So you can eat as much as you want. And if you can only afford this much this time, pay more next time. Or they say if you can't afford your meal, volunteer. And then they have a store, a little supermarket, and then they call it the inconvenience store. And it's got food.
Inconvenience store.
Yeah, and it's got all this food that was going to get thrown out, and it's paid by donation.
Give him a kiss, that's gold.
And they can pay for their food and groceries by donation, depending on whatever's in there that was going to get chucked out.
Cool. That's amazing.
They've got apparently a huge one in Sydney. They've got heaps of really cool stuff. Yeah. Well, don't know too much about these ones, but that's
my brother works.
Whereabouts are the ones here?
Tell us about that one, man.
My brother works at one in Ipswich. Same kind of thing. Yep. They get the waste from, not waste.
So it's not quite pug.
It's not a great word, is it? Waste.
Potential waste.
They get perfectly
waste. That's
get perfectly good food, and then pass it off to people who are not doing so well.
Yeah. I think that's awesome.
So that's good for your brother, because I know your brother as well. Is that helps people that volunteer for places like that can take as much as they need or want.
Yeah.
And so that works out really well for him, because he's only there because he goddamn needs the same service, right?
Yeah.
And that's the same as what you were talking about with if you can't afford it, volunteer for Lentil as Anything.
I love what they do. I absolutely
it's genius.
Love it.
It's genius.
Love going down there, especially when I've got money to actually go and just like pay the $20 for my meal, or $30 for my meal or whatever.
This is a cheers moment.
All right, let's cheers.
Because that discussion is going to resonate with a lot of people. So many people out there.
Well, it's catching on, man.
You got to drink.
I've got to drink straight after.
Like this is really a thing for me.
I'll drink again then. Jeez, since you're twisting my arm.
You got to make eye contact and you got to drink.
But that'll
Otherwise
resonate.
It's bad luck.
Yeah,
that'll resonate with a lot of people. So many people.
And I think it's catching up more and more, because cafes and stuff that either the staff used to take food home, or the ones that had the policy where the staff couldn't take the food home, they chuck it. But there's I got a notification for it before on my phone. There was this new app, like an actual app, and it's called Why Waste It? Is with a Y and then waste it. And it's so you can buy portions, like magic portions. So it's like $6.50.
Magic
Yeah.
portions.
So six.
Oh, I like that.
$6.50 or whatever
That's so
it is.
goofy. I love it.
And you get a magic portion from whatever's left from the day. So it's like you could pay your money. I mean, I haven't used it yet. But so you pay your money and then at the closing time, you go and pick up a bag of food that they would have otherwise chucked out. Why waste it?
Why waste it?
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. I just came across an ad for it on Facebook or something, obviously, with all the dumpster diving. I mean, a pretty term for it, if you want to get into it, is food rescue.
Or recycling.
Yeah. But, you say dumpster
Or not
diving and
wasting.
people start to think like, this visual of you going through this grotty bin.
With 12 dead chickens.
Yeah, well, no, chickens aside. I mean, that's not a common... Yeah.
Oh, gee, homeboy.
I said to Jeremy the other day, I said, it was just tape. Nothing goes
I
wrong
think
with
it's
tape.
it's the same thing with recording music to tape as well.
Unless you get a little flecking on it and like gets caught up in the
but that's
thing and then it
nothing.
runs
It's all
through,
wrapped
everything
out.
catches on fire.
That's
There's everything's got potential for disaster. Don't worry about it. It's
Yeah,
gonna be
there
fine.
is. I know what you mean,
And tape
but
takes
the
up a
potential
lot of
is so
physical
much
space
less.
too.
Yeah.
Like the digital, it's like all bite-sized, right? The amount of data that I have on here, if it was stored on tape, would fill rooms, man. This is a nice progression. We've just got to learn how to cope with it when we're used to analog. Gotta
It's
cope
just
with
not
digital.
as reliable. That's my complaint.
Neither is tape because it
Tape
can
is
catch on
reliable.
fire.
Well, that's very rare.
Deteriorate,
Yeah,
store it
exactly.
properly.
Eaten by bugs.
Yeah.
That's very rare if you look after it properly.
Mm.
Whereas a file type can go corrupt just because you took the USB out half
That's
a second
right, that's
before
right.
it finished
Half a
thinking.
Then
second
just
too
don't take
early.
it out the half second early.
Exactly.
It's like storing your
exactly.
tape properly. If you just don't take the extra time to store it properly, it's always going to be fucked.
There you
Like
go.
that. Every time I watch someone pull
Preach
a
it.
USB out
Preach
of
it,
the port
sister.
without
Preach it.
safely
You're-
eject,
You're
my
feeling my
heart.
pain. You're feeling my pain.
You're feeling
Yeah.
my pain. The
Shit.
dickheads that don't know how to
I've
keep
seen
the
it happen.
USB
It's this myth, right? People think it's this myth.
in the goddamn computer while their 2-hour video is transferring. Oh my god.
They think it's a myth, but I've seen it happen. I've seen the data get wiped. Not to me, but
Yeah.
I've watched someone pull it out. The next time they went to use it,
Yeah.
blank.
Never
Corruption.
pull out before you
Yeah.
splooge.
No,
Never.
splooge inside every time, man.
Damn.
Every time. Every time. That's how you get so many children.
It's true. It's
That's
true.
what the Catholic Church says.
And now Jez is on procreating.
It's true. Because if you pull out too early, things get fucked.
What gets fucked?
USBs and
USBs.
drives and files
drives.
and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Tape.
Not tape. You can't eject the tape too early. That's analog, baby.
Beautiful.
Yes, we still have teething problems. Bear with us.
We're still
Our
getting
friends.
there. This is episode 4. Hopefully, by episode 11,
We might have a
we
camera.
should be able to get it out within a week. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Living the dream.
Living the dream, man. We're
And
just
we might have a camera that's not a phone.
Scatology, the study of shit. And I am living that dream because I love to study shit.
Yeah.
Did you see on the first episode, Jeremy threw his fucking phone over there?
No.
You haven't seen that?
No, I haven't seen that part of it.
The same kind of
You
thing.
don't watch our podcast?
I did actually.
don't watch
I
our
started
podcast?
watching, but the audio was a little bit like I was
It took a
struggling to
while,
follow.
Yeah, with that weird
I mean, I
echo
listened
that
to
we had
more
the
than
first
half of
episode.
it, but it was still
It's
like.
pretty hard, that first episode where it was like this strange echo.
And to be honest, I'm just
was
waiting. I'm
unavoidable.
waiting for the other
Distortion, there's
episodes
this
to come out
distortion,
It
and
was
this
unavoidable.
because I can't watch them till they come out.
Well, Jeremy was doing the audio track, and then at a couple of
And I'm an
moments,
amateur.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Rob's
yeah,
doing
true.
the video track, and he's an
And-
amateur.
yeah, no
so we're
judgment.
just- I
there was
know,
a couple
I
of
know, I'm
couple of
just talking
moments
to
where the
Rachel.
audio dropped, so I had to keep the audio there for those drop moments.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you lose
And-
sound completely.
And
It
trying
was
to
really
find
annoying.
a way to only mute that track, but bring it back on for
Yeah.
the points where my audio cuts out, and then drop it down. It's like kind of beyond our scope at the moment.
But you've got
We'll
good
get
audio
there.
now.
Well, Casper Hall
If there's any
is
producers
totally
out there that want to
onto it,
do
man.
some shit so we
And
can
the great
talk
thing
shit,
about working with
go
Casper
for
is
it.
that he actually wants to teach me how to do it.
That's cool.
You know, so that he's like, oh man, I really like what you're doing and I know you don't know how to do it, so can I show you?
Yeah.
That's like this trade economy thing, right?
Yeah.
That's how it works, yeah.
Exactly.
No, this is a great little studio. I know you can't see much on the camera, but like every time I come in here,
It
I'm
really
like, oh,
is,
this is
man.
awesome.
Yeah.
Sound Out Studios.
He's made all his own
Casper's-
soundboards too.
That's right, he has. All the baffles, they call them. Baffles and bass traps.
They
He's
call
made
it a
them
baffle.
all himself.
That's
yeah,
what
it's a baffle.
absorbs the sound. A baffle.
That's right.
Yeah. He's made all
And
his
you
own
put your
baffles.
bass traps in the corner and your baffles. It's all baffles, probably. I'm probably talking out my
Probably
ass
just
right
baffling.
now. Could just be baffling, but I'm just trying to repeat what Casper's told me.
Yeah.
Right, because I'm exactly the same as you, Rob. I'm like really impressed that he's made all of these things himself and that he actually really knows how to do it. Like the reason why there's all of these rugs on the floor, that's no accident. They're sound absorbers. That's there on purpose, man. You know, these Persian rugs.
Look awesome though.
They
I
do,
mean, I
they're
know that
great.
they have a functional purpose, but damn, they look good.
Even the couches around the place have a functional purpose too. And great place to sleep, man. Great place to just fall asleep on that, man.
Dude,
They're comfy. They
know
are
what
very
So
comfy couches.
So comfy.
you know what you're asking?
What am I asking?
I'm going to have to do a pan shot now so that the audience can see what you're talking about. But we'll do
Not-
that at the end.
Yeah.
Not right now, though. Yeah,
I'll have to do a
Take a
pan
little
shot.
video,
edit
do a
it
little
in-
walkthrough.
Edit
Yeah.
it in post. Right.
Ask me for a fucking
But this
pan
is
shot.
kind of like the home
Hey.
studio for a lot of bands.
That's what I'm
It's the
here
home.
for. To just shake shit up a little bit. You know what I'm going to need? Did you not get my list of demands before I got here? I'm going to have to talk to my manager. I'm going to have to get a manager and then I'm going to have a talk with them.
You fucking diva.
I'm
you
trying.
fucking diva.
I'm trying. I've always wanted to like have enough like, you know, like diva moments to like make it worth
you
it.
need to, exactly.
Yeah.
Bung it on.
If you don't have
Go
a
in
reason
and
to have a
pretend that
diva
you're
moment,
and
fucking make a
before you know
reason.
it, they'll be shelling your peanuts for you.
Damn
Freshly shucked peanuts as part of your rider.
now I'm going to have to put peanuts on my rider just to have them shucked.
Just to have them shucked.
Yeah, I don't even want to eat them, but it's like,
Shuck
but they
that.
have to be,
Shuck all that.
they have to be the pre-shucked peanuts, so that way someone has to sit there and shuck them.
Oh, that's right.
regardless of whether or
That's
not
right.
I eat them.
But see, that's what you're doing is stimulating the economy, and that's a good thing because somebody has to get paid to shuck the peanuts, right?
But then you don't want to waste them.
You don't want to waste them. You don't want to throw out a peanut. Peanuts are harder to throw out. Like if I had a bowl of peanuts, I'd eat them till they're gone,
Yeah, that's true.
right?
So
If
then I
had-
just gotta invite
if I
you
had
more places.
A crate of chicken, I couldn't eat all that.
Yeah,
like,
true. But
Shit.
you'd give it your best go.
I'd give it a bloody good go. A gentleman's try.
Yeah. I like that.
I'd go for it.
Actually, you reminded me. I've been wanting to ask since the start. Give us a rundown on your thing, Rach. Plug your stuff.
My thing.
Tell us
Yeah.
about
Plug
your
your
music
stuff.
career.
My music career. Oh my
Yeah, man.
goodness. It's
Plug
so
the
exciting.
shit out of it.
Well, that's, I mean, what's there to tell? Like, it's,
Come on.
oh,
Sure,
yeah,
there's
you
lots to
put
tell.
me on the spot with that. Like, I don't know. I don't really talk too much about
Well, now's your
my
opportunity.
music
Now's your opportunity.
in that kind of way. I mean, like, I've been excited.
Okay, Rob. I had a really great opportunity. I was catching up with Rachel, who's up from Melbourne.
You're feeling humble.
Rachel's up from Melbourne
Get
this
awkward,
week.
man. It's an
Awkward.
awkward thing. It's not a humble thing. It's awkward.
Awkward. Okay.
Sorry.
That's part of life.
Yeah.
Everybody gets awkward sometimes. And especially musicians get really awkward when they get told
Talk about their music.
talk about your music.
Talk about your thing.
I
Talk
think
about
you're
yourself.
really good, so talk about your
Yeah.
music.
Well, sorry about that.
Shit.
That's okay.
But
Just
anyway,
got it.
Rob.
He'll talk about it.
Rob. We've been catching up with Rachel this last week. Like it's so good. Like I've known Rachel for it's got to be 6 or 7 years. We've known each
Yeah.
other, something like that, since you first took photographs of me being a fat, miserable cunt at Broadbeach,
Oh,
right? And we've had our relationship has just grown. Like I have so much respect for you, and I know that you have so much respect for me.
right, definitely.
And when you tell me that, I get the whole awkward thing going on
yeah,
too, right?
that's why I tell you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Because we all need a bit of awkwardness in our lives, and we need people to tell us that they like us, right? And,
Awkwardly.
awkwardly.
Yeah.
Awkwardly, exactly. But so Rachel's been up. I knew Rachel through Harv. and as a music photographer. And Rachel's honestly like a really good photographer, man. We should. No, it's
Can we
true.
keep him?
It's honestly true. It's honestly true. And we'll put up some shots of you. Not shots of you.
Oh.
Let's put up some shots of Rachel right after we put up some shots by Rachel.
Okay.
It's really cool. And you have a real talent for doing that. And so that's how I've known Rachel. First off, music photographer, then friend of Harvey, all of these things, associations, friends of friends, and going, oh my God, I really like this person and being around this person, and respect for this person. You know, and respect for Rachel, this piece of shit to my left.
Thank you,
know?
thank you.
Yeah. You goddamn piece of shit.
Yeah, I try.
I fucking love you.
Actually, I don't. It's just really not an effort anymore.
Yeah,
it's really easy.
Yeah. I fucking love you, you piece of shit.
Love you too, man. Love you too.
But so Rachel and my history goes back like longer even than our friendship, right? Because you had the friendship with Harvey before I had the friendship with you, and my friendship with you is as a result of both of our friendships with Harvey.
But
who's there when we're going through our shit, right?
Oh man, Harvey is the one that dragged me to my first open mic night. Like literally, I had 1,000 excuses, and he debunked.
A singing open mic.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, as in, singer-songwriter. I've been writing these little like secret songs and playing them, and like whispering my words because I was too afraid that anything would come out of my mouth.
Really?
And he dragged me to. I say dragged because I was like, no, I can't do it because of this reason, and he's like, but here's a solution. And I'm like, no, but there's also this reason. And he's like, here's another solution.
Oh,
God damn it, Harvey.
So when did you find your voice? Because I know what you mean about that whole first letting your voice be heard kind of anxiety thing.
November 2010 is when I started performing live. I'd sort of been...
That's so specific.
Yeah, well,
November
I remember
2010.
there's photos.
Uh-huh.
You remember the dates because there's photos. But it was, it was around about that sort of time.
Uh-huh.
And then I remember being so nervous that I shook so, like I could not keep my hand down on the fretboard. I shook so badly I only got through like a song and a half. But I was addicted. Like I just latched onto it. And then, I've been playing since. And now I get, people coming up and be like, oh man, like, from this like quiet little mouse voice that I had. Nicely done.
You just fucked the audio track, you cunt.
He does what he's got to do. He enhanced it, damn it. He enhanced it. He made the point. We said this
Robbie doesn't get me.
At the
Rachel,
jam with
you get
Dave.
me. Robbie doesn't get me.
We had this conversation about
Just
you
pretending.
like sort of accentuating like what people are saying and making their point with your burps. Like that's what you do.
That's what you do when you're from Inala.
period.
When you're a creative
full
person
stop.
from Inala, you find a way to fart when it's necessary.
Well, we can save that for the next
I
podcast.
don't-
That guest can deal with that.
I don't fart. I'm more likely to shit myself these days. I'm
do all
getting
mine.
old, right?
Well, we're
and so
talking
I'm more
about
likely to shit. I'm more
shits.
likely to
Yeah,
shit
yeah.
myself than actually fart. You know,
I do
You know
all
how
my
it is.
burping's easy. I'm not at that point where I'll spew if I burp, so
That's
I'll
good,
just keep
that's
doing that.
I do all my farts in the morning.
Get him out of the way.
Get him out of there.
Bam. Off to work.
Nice.
I wish this light board had a brown setting. That's what we need.
I'll just check.
What we need is a brown setting. Instead, we'll have like a yellow setting. It's kind of
It's toilet
scatological.
themed.
It's toilet themed, exactly. It's kind of scatological in itself.
Shivet. That's what
I
I'm
like
up
the
to.
signs.
Roman numerals. Do you know your Latin numerals? Because we are here to teach you.
Oh, Jesus.
4 is not I. 4 is IV. She.
It's funny he says that because I sent him a message the other day and I said, are you an IIX dude or a VIII dude?
VIII all the way because I do it properly.
And he knew straight away what I was talking about. And he goes VIII.
It goes VIII, then it goes IX. You don't go IIX. That's wrong.
Yeah,
That's not the proper conjugation.
Can't say I've sat down with Roman numerals enough to be that savvy.
Oh, really?
But you know what? I'm getting an education. This is
That's what we're here for. We are here to educate.
I was better
really
at
thought you
Roman
were here to talk
numerals.
shit.
Yeah, that's what
I wasn't
Scatology
prepared to
means.
learn anything.
The
Jesus.
study of she.
I liked Roman numerals before I liked maths.
I was
One of
right
those
into Roman
weird
numerals
guys.
too. Myself, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I really dug it, man. Like the CLXC shit. Like I fucking love that.
Yeah, I don't know why. A bit weird. Maybe a man's brain, who knows?
They look awesome. Hey, nothing against it. It's just the patience that it takes to actually remember that. I got a lot of.
I found it easier to remember.
I'm not sure about that. But
I
you
found
keep
Roman numerals pretty easy.
I found it easy.
It was
but
one
I
of my
wouldn't
best
say I
subjects.
found
I
it
couldn't
easier
read, but I
than
could do
our
Roman
numbers.
numerals.
Oh, did it help you to read because it was using letters?
No.
No, good.
I think that's what throws me off.
It's actual
I'm
letters.
talking grade 3 though.
Yeah, I remember grade 3, grade 4.
I was
with
better
the
at
Latin
Roman
numerals,
numerals
man. I
and-
fucking loved it.
Bloody reading, yeah.
But I think the numerals that we have
You lost your shit.
right
Oh
now,
no, there it is.
I think we actually use Greek numerals.
Huh?
What we use now is Greek, isn't it? Or is it Arabic?
Arabic.
It's Arabic. Oh shit. That's probably what confused me, is because a lot of Arabic ideological thought comes from Greek thought, right? Did you know that?
They merge around the time of Christ. They kind of merge a bit, but otherwise, yeah, it's Arabic. Our numeracy.
Arabic, right. That's interesting to me because their writing system is so fucking different from ours. These
The
squiggly
writing.
lines, but we use their numbers. And our ideological things are so different. Like you think of what people are like. Oh my god, Mert, whatever the fuck his name was in Sydney, that's screaming Allah Akbar
The
while he
numeracy
murders a
predates
prostitute.
Numeracy predates the Arabic writing. Because
The
if you go
thieves.
back to when Babylon did the numbers, they were using hieroglyphics. They weren't using Arabic fonts. Numeracy predates the Arabic fonts.
Okay. So are you saying that was something that they found and adopted? Like as in terms of Arabic writing?
It's changed over time.
Right. So it comes from Babylonian, does it? Our numeracy system.
The
you saying
numeracy
it?
goes back that far, yeah.
Wow, that's really interesting. Goes as far back as...
Yeah,
Right,
before Arabic
wow.
writing.
That's really
It
interesting.
goes back to the time of the hieroglyphs.
Yeah, well, Arabic culture can kind of trace its roots from Babylonian culture, can't it?
Talking like 1000 BC kind
Mm-hmm.
of area.
Okay.
Long time.
Very interesting.
Just a little while back.
So, man, that's the thing about...
Well, history was one of my
That's the thing
bags.
about the...
That was the VHS.
I hesitate to
student.
say Western way of doing things, and I hesitate to say the
blow
English
my own
way of doing
trumpet.
things. But we have like English writing style and speaking style. And English as a language is like a bitzer fucking mongrel cunt language as it is, right? It's taken stuff from the Nordic, from the French, from the Latin, from the Greek. It's like this from the Germans, from the goddamn Russians, right? It's like all over this place, clunky language as it is.
Celts.
This-
Don't forget the Celts.
The Celts.
You
Well,
bastard.
I can't forget the Celts because I'm Celtic through and through. Did you know that even the Poles are Celts?
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, I'm
Some.
Celtic.
Yeah, some.
Mhm.
A lot of
My-
Germans in there.
I know that too, man. The reason why my grandmother survived the war is that she had some German heritage, right?
Right.
So, and the reason why my grandfather survived the war is that he was a Celt that was trained how to kill Germans by the American military. So, like, I've got this mongrel Australian thing. Like, I've got my Polish side, I've got my Irish and Scottish and English side. But it all comes down to this whole bitzer mentality that's very English, right? That we just take bits here and there of things that work. And so we've got this language system that is
You're talking about
that
adaptability.
is completely unrelated to our numerical system, which is taken from a culture that's like so far removed. Like most of our culture has
an
like
English thing. It's just being adaptable.
But we call the language English. So that's why I said that's why I said I hesitate to use the word English. That our language is English, but English means German, Celtic, Polish, Russian, Germanic shit.
Colourful collection of
A little colourful,
Definitely.
little colourful connection. That's right.
Oh, yeah.
And then you add our numeracy system into that whole colourful mix, and it just stops making any sense whatsoever.
Well, it's so damn colourful.
Right?
I can't even imagine being someone who spoke a foreign language trying to learn English.
It must be hard,
It is
man.
crazy.
I've heard it's very hard.
French
and
words, German words.
Think about it, like for most of
adjectives.
us, like with it, being our,
Latin.
myself, being my first and only real language that I speak, I had a hard enough time with it. Like, you still do. There's so many words and so many things
On
that
the
get
spellings too.
twisted and turned
That's right.
up.
The silent T that turns up in English words.
The silent K.
Where the hell is there a goddamn silent K in our supposed rules?
The GH that says...
Yeah. The PH
pronunciations as well.
That's
like,
right.
The
exactly.
very Aussie way of, with water bottle with the D.
Exactly. That's right. The water bottle double D.
Yeah.
Water bottle spelled with a D and a double D.
Water bottle.
Water bottle is how it's spelled, but we say water bottle. That's a D and a double D. Water, D. Bottle, double D. Water bottle.
Oh, you're saying we use D's instead of T's.
Yeah, but we still spell it.
Pronunciation, like we still spell it
with a
the
T.
way that
I
we're
never
saying
heard it
it.
that way
We say
before.
D. Neither have I, man. She's
No,
spelling mine with a D.
water,
Yeah,
bottle.
Yeah,
Water
absolutely.
bottle.
Shit. Water
Imagine how
bottle.
confusing that
Wow.
is for someone coming in trying to like write that word out from what they've heard.
Wow, you just blew my mind. Water.
Water bottle.
Water.
Water bottle.
Bottle.
Water bottle.
Bottle.
Bottle. Bottle. That's
Bottle.
what we say, man. Bottle.
Yep.
Bottle. Bottle.
You hear it particularly when you've been recording stuff and you like hear the way you pronounce stuff.
Bottle.
You're like, what
Bottle.
am I even
Bottle.
saying?
Shit.
Bottle. Bottle.
But the
Bottle.
misheard song
Bottle.
lyrics are so
Bottle.
great.
Bottle.
So I had someone
Bottle.
doing arrangements.
Bottle. Bottle.
Bottle.
Bottle.
I wonder how the
Bottle.
Yanks hear us. Water. Bottle. Bottle. Bottle, bitch.
Water.
It's not
Yeah, can.
bottle.
But Robbie and I have been very good friends for nearly 20 years, and we've like known each other all of our lives. Like my
Brothers from another mother.
yeah, that's right, brothers from another mother. My mum's sister's best friend is Robbie Jobbie's mother. So we have been involved in family situations for as
like
long
cousins.
as we've been alive. We're like
remember you
cousins.
saying that.
We're like
yeah.
cousins. We're like cousins, basically.
Yeah, same
That's
kind of
awesome.
thing.
And then we're like cousins that became like best mates later in life as well. Yeah. I'm not sucking his dick though. I still think he's a cunt with an apostrophe. But
I did get you to quit the union.
you did because you could see it was killing me. Ideologically, I believed in it, but as a job, it was the worst thing that could have been happening to me. And everything else that was going on in my life while I was working in that job that didn't suit me, an underpaid salesman, essentially.
And not being creative.
And no creative. It's like, read the script. That's your job. And it's like, that's not what I do, right? As a human, that's not what I do.
Yeah, he went through a pickle.
Yeah. Yeah, there was plenty of
Pickling?
suicidal ideation is how I'd put it.
Oh, you
While I
reckon?
was-
You went that far?
100%.
Shit.
100%.
I could see you suffering in your face.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were
Oh, man.
planning or anything like
Oh,
that.
yeah. Every day.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. That was a really hard period in my life. And
Talk to people.
talk to people. And Robbie was the dude that was there for me while I was going through that.
So important. To
So
have,
important.
Like someone that's just Yeah, they are.
Mm-hmm. Somebody like where, yeah,
It's kind of natural being there anyway.
Mm.
Seeing.
yeah. Mm-hmm. We'd known each other a long time by that stage, and you'd
It's
seen
not like we had to.
you'd seen me go through a lot of trauma,
Mm.
like a lot of fucking trauma.
Yeah, it's not like I had to work you out first to understand where you were coming from. I could just see it in your face, man.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Straight away.
I know what you mean. That's what friends are for.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
True story.
Absolutely. True story. 100%. For real, dog.
Full fucking real.
Double dang.
Oh shit.
Double dang, dog.
Paul.
Full show.
The shizness is.
Mm-mm.
Amen, brother.
Slapping the titties.
Oh, that's lions in the park.
You got your knife?
Fucking pocket, brother.
I used to have a bit about that.
For real? For real? For real? Yeah.
Rach probably doesn't get the reference. I'm
No,
not sure.
totally lost on me.
Yeah, yep.
If you get the reference, you'll be pissed.
Yeah,
yourself.
yep.
100%.
100% for real. 100%. Dang, dog.
Oh, nothing.
Double dang, dog.
Nothing.
The art of a good musician, right, is that you'll take people on tangents that they didn't even think that they needed to go on, that they didn't know how to express, but you said, this is what I'm going to do, and you talk, and I'm going to listen. And a good musician listens. Holy shit. That's one thing you're really good at.
Thank you. I think,
You pay a lot of attention to people.
yeah, well, people are, I mean, like, the thing is, I guess for me, the way I look at it is I know what's going on in my head.
Uh-huh.
So I would much prefer in a conversation to be the person listening because I will learn a lot more. And like, if, you've got something to offer when, you've got a time to speak, it's, great.
Mm-hmm.
But like, that's why I love being around people like you guys that can just talk because there's so much knowledge and there's so much experience and there's so much like quirky randomness that comes out of your mouths that it's like, it's really, like, I don't know. It's almost like I just don't want to talk. I just want to be here just
but
to
you're here 'cause
listen.
we want to talk to you.
Yeah, but
That's
you
why
guys
you're
are so
even
great
here.
to listen to.
Oh, are we dominating, are we?
No.
Let's take
Please,
We're not.
no. I needed the break. I mean, I talk way too much. So this is,
you ready?
yeah.
You're a singer. All singers talk
That's
way
good.
too much.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Way
That's
too
why-
much about
that's
things
why-
that, people shouldn't know about. Find that like
yeah.
sometimes like, I mean, I know like how much, like in terms of writing music that you've done, I don't know that sort of side of your history with that. But sometimes I'm writing stuff and I'm like, I listen to it back and I've recorded, the album and it's like, people are actually going to hear what I think. I should have been a little bit more aware of
hear
that
your
when I
lyrics.
was, like, because, when you're playing in a
What's that?
pub and everyone's loud, no one knows what's going on. But then when you've got a CD, it's like,
And
oh,
people
shit.
can break it
Oh,
down.
analyse, yeah.
Shit.
Analyze.
People are really going to hear your thoughts. Like just,
So what's the problem with that? Is
No-
it,
well,
is it getting
nothing.
shitty comments? Or
oh no, that's
can
it's not
can
about
you give
Just
that.
an
feeling a bit
example
weirded out
of,
about-
of a lyric that you're concerned about? Like you're talking about, like people are going to hear your lyrics and know this insight into your brain. Like which lyric?
Well, it's hard to sort of like say exactly, but it's like, oh, okay. So one of the songs that'll be on the new album was like, it was just having this moment like where I had, I've just gotten back from the country. I'd left my relationship. Like I, won't talk too much about that sort of stuff, but I had, a bottle of bourbon and I, finished drinking it and I went to pour myself another glass and it was gone.
It was
like I drunk the
gone.
whole thing. Like that was where it was.
Oh my God, I've been there. I
Yeah,
tell you
me
what.
too.
Run out
I
of
tell you
bourbon.
what.
But yeah, and so
That's
then
when I get punchy.
Call 911.
punchy.
Punchy.
Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But please, my dear, go
Yeah.
on.
So then the thought was like, I sort of just had this moment. It's like, why? It's just like, I was drunk, so I'm honest. I'm a very honest drunk. I was just like, why am I doing this? Like, what am I even doing? And like decided to, in that moment, drunk off my ass in my house by myself. I'm like, why do I feel like this? And obviously the best way to work out for me and what I feel is to write a song. So I sort of, it's like, okay, so I'm bottom of the bottle looking for a cure for my sorrow, just praying that tomorrow is a better day. And the feeling of what ails me is feeling like I failed me as I lost myself in loving you.
Perfect.
So here I stand in chains self-made of my regret and my disdain, feeling like my heart betrayed itself again.
That's perfect.
And then it's
The
like...
last time I wrote a poem was when I was in a state of anguish, and I sent it to Jeremy.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what it said, but it was a poem.
Yeah. It's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
That's
and then
really
it was like,
good.
and then I wrote that and I sat back, I was like, oh, okay. So that's what I think. And then you record it and people are like going to hear that and it's like.
And then you sing it
Yeah.
over and over and over again.
And you feel it and you feel it. Like it's one of those things. But the thing is, I didn't know why I was so upset until I wrote the song.
Right on.
And then once I'd written the song, I was like, oh, okay. I feel better. I feel heaps better, like just actually being aware now of why I feel down. I felt like I'd let myself down by following a path that I didn't feel was right. And it's like I feel like I failed myself doing this. And so that's why I'm having that accountability moment with myself to sort of address that. And then it's like, but, you know, there's lots of songs that you write like that. It's sometimes you're just a little bit like, I don't know. It's weird, I guess, again,
it's
with the talking thing, yeah.
It is the stuff of life.
It's the stuff of life.
It's a good observation.
We all anguish sometimes.
But I think that comes in with the anxiety thing, like a little bit, you know? It's like...
But it's good that you can be creative when you're anguishing. Some people can't.
Well, it's a lot easier for me to write a sad song when I'm happy. To be honest, like way easier.
Really?
But yeah, particularly about something that's happened in the past. If I'm in a good headspace, it's because usually I've dealt with what I'm feeling about that thing.
Right.
But then when I'm in that space where it's like, okay, I'm drunk now, like I've got to actually deal with this shit that I haven't unraveled. Like I haven't pulled these suitcases out and emptied them out, you know, then it forces its way out of you when you're in that sort of state.
But the original experience is still the fertilizer. It's still there.
Yeah, but like if you've dealt with it, it's way easier to write the song in a way that kind of like I find is like fair and just, but it's, you know, when you're going through it, you get that little bit of extra emotion, which makes it a much rawer experience for a song. So there's not as much thought that goes into the song and it's quite raw. And both ways of writing are great, but if I kind of find that myself sort of going
like
between the two.
A hindsight thing seems to help you be poetic.
Yeah,
I guess.
It helps.
Sure, that's fascinating. That's really cool.
But yeah, or you just, you know, occasionally I have a dream that I'm writing a song and that's
I do that too.
You have a dream you're writing a song.
Yeah.
Really?
Like sitting down, like writing a song in a dream, and then you wake up and you're like, shit, I don't know how to play that.
Yep.
Shit, I want one of those dreams.
I've had dreams of people teaching me how to play a riff.
Yeah.
And then
Really? Wow.
Yeah. True, man. I've had dreams where I've learned a riff that somebody has taught me in that dream, in this real...
Fuck my music teacher.
Totally realistic situation where someone's teaching me this riff.
And
I
you're
wake up,
practicing
I'm
it
like,
back with them. It's like you've been practicing as well. And all of a sudden it's like it's way... I found that learning
and then you
chords...
get up, then I get up and go, oh, right, that's how I do it. Right, because I can see what I was taught.
Yeah.
By my own unconscious.
And I used to
my own dream.
practice because I could never do the movements between the chords properly. I used to practice in my sleep all the time.
I can't do that. I'm a bass player. Like I can't do this. I haven't practiced that.
I've got minor music
sleep
teacher
practice,
PTSD.
Man. Maybe you'll just be
Maybe I should sleep practice and I can wake up on Mozart.
I don't get music dreams because music teacher used to snap my fingers for pressing the wrong buttons.
That's no good.
She kind of killed
Buttons. What were you learning?
Recorder.
Oh, yeah, okay. Sound holes. Down here, they call them sound holes.
Bitch. That's
Total
what I
bits,
call
man.
them.
I've known a lot of people. I've known a lot of people in your situation, right?
It's true, man.
That have just had the bad teacher experience.
Had the bad
I had one of those.
Bad
I had
music
one guitar
teacher.
lesson. I did have a guitar lesson. So, I mean, like, I'm predominantly self-taught. I'd learned a lot of my chords from watching musicians around the Brisbane scene play and,
taking
photos of their hands. Yeah. But, no, I did have a lesson and he kept adjusting my fingers. He wouldn't let me use my first finger. Like I had to do like the C chord with these 3 fingers. Because, you know, like that way I would be able to do better bar chords and things like that. And, you know, he said I'd never be able to play guitar if I couldn't play it with them and it was wasting my time. But to be honest, I got my pinkies, they just don't like to do that much. Like that, I can use them occasionally.
So music teachers, wake the fuck up to yourselves.
Wake the fuck up.
No,
are
not
different.
all music teachers.
Pass on the love of music.
Pass on the love, but don't tell somebody how to do it. Just
I
let
never
them do
wanted to
it.
play again.
Let
Just
them do
because
it.
your pinky works in a certain way doesn't mean that every guitarist's pinky should work in a certain way.
Just let them play.
Grow the fuck up.
Let them play. Don't be a Nazi.
As it should. As it totally should escalate, right?
True. Yeah, but I mean, that's what put me off playing guitar.
Yeah, man.
Like well and truly. Like
Terrible.
I didn't want to play again
That's
after that.
awful. That is a shit music teacher. So all of you music teachers out there, learn from that shit and
Don't
stop
be
doing
shit.
it yourself.
Let them play.
Let them play. Don't tell them to practice. Tell them to play.
And don't
Kids
smack
don't
their
want
fingers.
to practice kicking the ball. Kids want to play kicking the ball. Tell them to play music because practice is not a concept.
I just
that's
hear the word
natural.
practice and I'm just like, you know what? I'd rather not.
Play.
And don't pull out your ruler and smack
And
their
anybody
fingers,
that is a budding
please.
musician that may be watching and listening to this, if you're there listening to this, just play. Fuck this practice bullshit. Pick up your guitar and play. Sit by the piano.
If you
Pick up
don't
your
know
bass,
enough chords,
pick up your recorder and play.
if you don't know enough chords to learn a song, write one.
Write one, exactly.
Because you know what? If you know 2 chords, just put them together and
put
start
them down.
writing.
Some
Maybe
of
add
the
a third
most-
one later.
songs with 2
Some
chords.
of the most
got a couple.
successful pop songs are just 2 chords, man, for 3.5 minutes. It ain't about knowing how to play the F chord, right? Or this particular bar chord, or that, or this, or that, or this. If this is what you can do, start playing with it. And then those things will come later.
And play
All of these
around with
extra
it.
things will come later.
That's like sort of how I got it. Like I'd see a shape
with the
that
rhythms.
someone like Harvey would play, but he plays a shape, but it's a shape that he plays at all kinds of places around the neck. Like, cause me, I don't understand music. I don't know the chords or keys or anything about it. Like I'm totally useless at that particular element of it. But I noticed that he was moving these shapes up and down the neck. I was like, okay, so where can I put this? I've seen this shape that I like of his. He moves a lot of his shapes around. What do I do? And then I started taking that and then like finding these shapes from musicians and playing around and making some really god awful sounds. And then finding
I've been
some that were really
I'm still
pretty,
there.
like really interestingly, like pretty sounds. And I get people come up and like, oh, you play this like jazz chord sort of thing. It's like, do I?
That's interesting. Yeah,
Is
because
that what
jazz
you
is a
call
bit
it?
more that way, yeah.
They're like, oh, did you realize you were playing this? It's like, I do now.
Jazz is very
Very
It's
nice.
about,
experimental.
but it's feeling for me. And a lot of people play technically well and understand. And look, I think the theory is important and I will get there eventually. We'll give it some time.
Yeah, sure, man. I feel the same way. For me, playing music is about expressing feelings as well. It's not about showing everybody what I know how to do. It's about expressing the emotion that's right for this particular moment. And I'll play that emotion over and over and over and over and over again every time I play that song. With these 2, the 1 and the 5, man. 1 5, 1 5, 1 5. That's me. That's a bassist. But it's about the
Yeah, I don't know either, but I know that they talk about it a lot. So you just got to smile and nod.
Oh,
the
really?
numbers thing.
What is 1
There was a
5?
lot of numbers talk
Should I pick
going
up my
on.
bass?
Yeah, I need to
Should
know
I?
this.
Okay,
What's
I'll pick
1
up my
5?
bass then.
What is 1 5?
We're going to learn.
Because that's a different language. I don't know.
That's the
what
purpose of
fuck you're
having
talking
video. Yeah, well, I'm like that. And they get in these conversations and I'm just like, this is awesome.
about.
But
Yeah.
So we've
Need
got
to
to
know
talk
this
about-
1 5 shit.
So, do you guys both know your major scale?
No.
no.
I got hit in the hands by my music teacher. You've
So
not
major
been
scale.
listening.
So now we've got bass lessons with Jez.
Jeremy has not been
Start.
listening to my trauma as a child. Fuck shit.
Play a major scale. G, A, B, C, D, E, That's a major scale.
Okay.
That's a major scale. Right?
Good.
So you can hear what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
I can translate what I'm doing into numbers. I can say G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. Or I can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Right.
7.
Or you can say bum 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 bum.
Sing it. You can say it.
I think that's why I love
I'm a singer.
about music.
2, 3, 4, 5. So
I don't know about the
common thing to
touching
play.
button shit.
Let's talk Johnny Cash.
I was hitting the hands
Let's
as a
talk
kid.
Johnny Cash for a minute. Johnny Cash. Most of your bass lines in Johnny Cash.
Where's our doll? Have you told Rach about the
The what?
we want a Johnny Cash doll?
Oh, no, I haven't heard this.
So if you want to send us one, feel free. Want a Johnny Cash doll right here.
That would be pretty sick.
So
Is Rach a Johnny Cash fan?
She is.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's not much music that I'm not a fan of, but I'm a blues at heart
I'll test you.
kind of person.
Uh,
I'm not like,
Voice to Man.
don't know. I am much better if I hear the song, I'll know all the lyrics. But if you tell me the names of stuff,
Okay.
it took me a solid effort to remember the bands that I wanted to listen to.
1, 5. Let's go back to
I want to test Rach now.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 5. 1, 5. 1, 5.
I'll back to your 1
Yeah,
5 stuff.
right. Okay, I'm with you.
You could say 4, 1, 4, 1, but that gets confusing. 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5.
That's reggae.
1, 3, 5. So you change, it's like a movable 1.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say 4, 1, 4, 1, 5, 2, 5.
Because it's the same thing. Ah. Oh, man, I'm learning way too much today.
5, 1, 5, 1, 5, change the chord. 1, 5, 1, 5, change the chord. 1, 5, 1, 5, change the chord. 1, 5, change the chord. 1, 5, change the chord. 1, 5, 1. So 7, 5, 4, 1. Numbers. That's
Yeah.
basic numbers. My point across.
No.
No.
I feel like I learned a lot though.
You felt you.
Yeah, actually,
As a
yeah.
guitar
It's like
player.
all of a sudden. Hang on a second.
As a guitar player,
Well,
I just taught you something.
At least I'm gonna know. I don't know necessarily that it'll translate into my music, but at least when you guys are having a conversation, I'll kind of be able to follow you a little bit better, and that's a win for me.
Yeah, I learned nothing. I've got music teacher trauma. Music teacher trauma. 1 5 1 5, smack your fingers. 1 5, smack your fingers. 1 5, smack your fingers. 1 5.
What
Like
time
that
are we
shit.
looking at? What?
True story.
True story.
True story.
So your album is coming out.
Single.
Single.
So there will be an album.
me,
You
plug
should
time.
know because you will be playing on it.
I'm playing on the album,
Yes.
but it's not a. Okay, so it's a single.
So at the moment,
Single
I've
release.
just finished a single. So
Called?
I've got Memory Lane.
Nice.
It's a nice name.
Thank you. It's all about the baggage and the shit that we carry with us
Cool.
as we're like trying to walk, going down our memories, like carrying all our fucking luggage.
Yep. The
so I've
anguish we
got-
talked about. Yep.
Yeah. So I've got that single launch is on the 7th of September, and that's when the single will be
7th
out.
of September. Where are you
7th,
playing?
Some Velvet Morning in Clifton Hill.
Clifton Hill.
Yeah, in Melbourne.
Is that like east, south, north? I don't actually know my Melbourne
Northish.
geography. Northish.
Goes northish.
Northish,
Yeah.
Melbourne. Clifton Hill.
It's out towards the Fitzroy, sort of like all that sort of. Velvet Morning.
Morning. That's such a nice name.
It's beautiful. It's a little venue, so there's only you can only fit 60 people in there.
Okay, cool.
So we're just keeping it nice and intimate. When tickets sell out, they sell out.
Tickets?
That's it.
You're selling tickets?
Yeah, it's a ticketed
buy
event.
Tickets?
Yeah, so there's a handful of tickets.
Buy your ticket.
Yeah, well, there's a
Clifton Hill.
handful available at $5, and then when they're gone, and then they're $10 after that. So,
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
How many are you
That's not
selling at
bad.
$5? It's like an early bird thing.
Yeah, well, because the venue's only got such a small capacity, obviously it's less than half available, but we'll sort of
Yeah, cool.
address that depending.
Fantastic. And the thing that a lot of punters don't realise is that it really matters to musos to be able to have some sort of comfort in seeing how many tickets have been sold before the show.
Yeah, I
right?
think that
this whole turn up at the door thing, I get it. Unfortunately, I do the same thing, but to pay for a ticket before the show really gives us so much peace of mind.
It's
right?
more the excitement as well, I think,
Damn
than just the
straight.
peace of mind. It's like, okay,
That
so yeah,
too.
there's peace
That
of mind in
too.
knowing that you've sold the tickets,
That
but it's
too.
like you can look at it and see how many tickets are sold and like, damn, this is
Yeah,
exciting.
Yeah.
We also know that you don't have randoms. You've got people that have bought that to see you.
That's right,
That's
man.
true. That's very, very true.
That's nice. It's very comforting as well. On top of all of that, that's very comforting. That's a comforting thought.
yeah.
That's what they've done.
7th of
So
September.
love
Yeah.
your audience.
And what did you say the name of the song is?
Memory lane.
Memory Lane. I like it. I've
Yeah.
often
It's
walked
cool.
that street before.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's isn't it? You know, you talk about we're talking about the mental health stuff, like the first line of the song is constantly I stumble down a road called Memory Lane, and as the pebbles cut my feet, a black dog's giving chase.
Oh,
Like that's
shit.
the start of the song. So, and that's what it's
That's just the
That's what
start
it's
of the
about.
song.
that's
Wow,
the,
that's
the
brilliant.
first line.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
yeah, you're so poetic. I like it.
oh,
Walk down memory lane.
I love
Cut my
poetry.
feet on the pebbles. Like dog. Giving chase.
Very visual, isn't it?
Oh, there'll be a music video.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, let me know when that's out.
Yeah, so that's so I'm actually filming that at the end of August, and then that'll be released not too far into the
Cool.
future for that one as well. So
Very
it's really
cool.
exciting.
Very exciting.
I've never done a music video before. I'm really
Oh, man.
I've worked on them when I worked
Cool.
in film, but I've
Sure.
never actually had my own yet. This is going to be the first one, so
That's exciting.
fun.
Very cool lyrics, though.
Thank you.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Very cool. I love the abstractness of it. Not whimsical, kind of mystical.
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 Yeah. I like
Cool.
that too.
I like the word mystical.
Mystical.
too.
Yeah,
Me too.
that's what that was the most part of my nodding for that. It's like, damn, I really like the word mystical.
Yeah.
Just like get those moments when people are saying words in a conversation and they're like, they go to explain what the word means because you just sit there like, but it's not that you don't necessarily, I mean, don't get me wrong, if I don't know what the word means, I want to know what it means. But sometimes it's more just you're
Google it.
appreciating the
I could have just said
language.
deep.
Yeah,
That's
no, but that's
deep.
what I mean. Like, like when someone says that, the reason that you
Google
just
it.
get that moment is it's just like, damn,
No,
I love that word in the use
do not
in the conversation.
Google deep. You'll probably get in trouble.
Latin root deep.
Dear.
But yes, Google
If
mystical.
you're going to Google,
Google
what
mystical.
you should Google is 2 girls, 1 cup.
You should never listen to anything that Jez actually has to say and do it. I mean, like, if you want to
I'm not
listen
sure
to him,
what
listen
he's
to him. Just don't
Two
do.
girls, one
Google
cup.
it. Google it.
Should
Robbie.
I?
No.
Yeah, Google it.
No.
I've never
Do
Googled it,
not.
but I've heard that
Do
you shouldn't listen to
not.
Jez.
Do not
a-
put your fucking internet browser on safe mode when you Google that shit.
I'm just aware of my bowels. I don't want to shit myself, that's all.
You don't want to eat it either.
Don't want to eat it. Don't
But Google
No,
mystical. If you don't know what the word mystical means, seriously, do yourself a favor and Google it. Define mystical.
Yes, mystical. Yes.
It's a good one. That's a good word.
Not deep.
Deep is going to take you to some strange
But
places.
no, but I mean, you think about it, you type it
Yeah.
into Google search and you're just typing in define deep. Take you down this like weird rabbit hole of all of this.
man,
Like, what is
probably
depth?
will.
Like,
Yes,
what is depth?
depth? Oh,
Jesus.
You'll
shit.
probably get a lot of different deep. A lot of different deep.
Yep.
Jeez.
Toot, say, toot. What word is toot? Put safe search on before.
Always safe search.
Yeah. Unless you're looking up 2 girls, 1 cup, then seriously, you don't want moderation.
Goodness. 2 girls, 1 cup.
Google it.
I don't
Google
want
it
to. I'm afraid.
I didn't Google it because I had heard the things, like the rumors. of, like,
I
not
just can see
Googling
by
it,
his
so
eyes. I'm afraid.
Crazy
You
eyes.
should
He's like,
always be afraid. If
"Jiggle
Jez tells you to do something, you know you should be afraid.
No, crazy eyes. That's going to be bad.
Should we wrap this up?
Probably should.
Probably
then we
I guess
should
so.
keep
Have we done all the
drinking
plugs that we need to do?
Yeah. Anything
Yeah.
else you want to plug?
I'm pretty
Good.
right.
All
on
good?
The,
What about
the
you?
whole plug in
Well,
front.
You're still September?
I'm going to plug 7th of September at this
Some velvet
Some
morning.
Velvet. I knew it was velvet. Some Velvet Morning in Clifton Hill. The ineffable Rachel Clark is putting on her single launch there. What have we got coming up? Robert Jobbie?
Well, our plug is hopefully we can do a show every week with a brilliant musician.
Hopefully by this stage we've already got 4 under our belt.
Yeah, we are amateurs, so we're still
We're
trying to
trying, we're
iron
working.
out software and file types and all that kind of frustrating post-production crap. But our plan is to get something out every week.
Yeah, so next week hopefully we've got Daniel Trickett coming up to talk some shit. And then later on, the next week we got Palmas Rose from Blues Arcadia coming up. Then we've got a bunch of other Blues Arcadia members coming up. My band, Blues Arcadia.
Awesome band.
Thanks.
That's okay.
Thanks. I really like playing in this band and I like the people that I work with. So I'm looking forward to having a chat with all of them.
You're going to speak some shit with us.
And then a
very soon.
bunch of other musos, a bunch of crazy people, crazy musicians that I know and love. And that's what's coming up.